and welcome to the Mindset Coach podcast, the show where coaches and coaches-to-be tune in to learn how to integrate mindset coaching tools and neuroscience-based techniques into their practice and grow and scale a coaching business they love. I'm your host, Lara Young, founder of the Mindset Coach Academy, author of 52 Adventures to Change Your Life, award-winning business owner, coach and coach trainer. Tune into this podcast each Friday, free on all the podcasting apps, and click to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And remember, mindset is everything. How do you gain credibility as a coach? Now, credibility, of course, is so important when it comes to coaching. It's important because it helps you to gain clients. If you're viewed as someone who has credibility in your field, then people are going to be likely to want to work with you. They're going to refer you through word of mouth, and you're going to be standing out as someone who is the coach to go to in your niche or in your industry. But how do we get credibility as a coach? And for those of you who are new coaches, this is really important. And it's equally important, of course, for those of you who are established coaches as well, to actually maintain your credibility in the coaching marketplace. Now, we know that the coaching industry is a growing one, and so it's important that you can do some things to stand out and to really be able to attract those clients that you want to attract by having them recognize what you bring to the table in terms of your coaching expertise and the results that you help your clients to achieve. Now, sometimes people will say, okay, well, I feel like I've got a bit of imposter syndrome, or I don't know, there's so many people out there, I feel like a bit of a fraud. And there are techniques that you can use. And in fact, there are some very practical activities that you can do that can really help you to move past those doubts and those fears about putting yourself out there. And we'll be covering those off in future episodes of the show. But for now, I want to talk to you about how do you actually step into and embrace your credibility as a coach, and how do you do it in a way that really resonates with you, lights you up, and enables you to step into the identity of that powerful and successful coach that you are, so that you can become the coach that you want to be. Now, one of the things that you can do is to actually make a note, write down all of the things that you have achieved in your life to date. I want you to think about all your qualifications that you've achieved, all of the skills that you've developed. Maybe you've written a book, perhaps you have a podcast, maybe you regularly show up running workshops, perhaps you're part of a networking group. What are all the things that you do on a regular basis that demonstrate that you have the skills and the tools that you need to help your clients to create the transformation that they want to create? And I want you to take some time over this activity. You will find a downloadable worksheet over in the resources section of the Mindset Coach Academy website, mindsetcoachacademy.com/resources, which will help to guide you through this activity. So I want you to think about all of the things that you've actually done in terms of gaining qualifications, gaining skills. What experience have you had? Maybe you've come out of corporate. Maybe you've been in a leadership role. Perhaps you're someone who is into fitness and you're coaching in that arena. What are the skills and qualifications that you have that are directly aligned to your niche market in your coaching business? What are the things that you bring to the table that will really help your clients going forward? Perhaps it's practical experience like parenting, or perhaps you've gone through an adoption process, or maybe you have gone through menopause and that's the area or the niche that you are working in. I really want you to sit down and think about all of those experiences, qualifications and skills, write them down on a piece of paper. And again, this is an activity that you're probably going to want to do over a period of time, because if you're anything like me, you know that ideas pop into your head at different times. You'll start working on something and then you'll have that bright idea while you're in the shower or you're driving along, and you'll remember something that you've experienced in the past that you can add into this pool of information about the things that make you stand out as a coach, that make you credible, that make you an expert in your field. When it comes to expertise, we really also want to start to think about what is your zone of genius? What is it that you're really good at? What do you do with ease, with joy? What do you do that maybe other people find a little bit more difficult than you to actually achieve? You know, we've all got areas in our lives where we excel. There are things that we are good at that maybe other people aren't. You know, whether that's putting together flat pack furniture or baking the perfect chocolate brownie, or whether it's being able to analyze a problem and come up with the perfect solution. We're all adept at doing different things. And I want you to really think about what is your zone of genius. You can ask other people as well. You know, what do you believe that I'm an expert in? What do people come to you for on a regular basis? What are the sorts of things that you know without doubt that you can do exceptionally well, that you can contribute, you know, that you've got some, you know, you've got a real passion for, that you love doing? Because the thing is that when you understand and you know what your zone of genius is, and you know what you're really good at, and you embrace that and you own it, then you can start to get out there and really demonstrate that expertise. And as a coach, when you're demonstrating that expertise, you do it through things like your copy, the copy on your website that really resonates with your clients, with blog posts or videos, or, you know, going live. It is really about how you're communicating and getting your message out there, that you're demonstrating your expertise, your knowledge in a certain area that is going to relate to and resonate with your ideal clients. And when you're able to do that, when you're able to articulate your expertise in a way that does resonate, in a way that people recognize themselves in what you're saying, and they recognize as well that you're the person that can help them, then you're going to be creating and raising your credibility. And you're also going to be attracting those clients to you and building that thriving practice. Now, start to look as well for opportunities for you to demonstrate your credibility. You know, look for things that you can do, like guesting on podcasts, or, you know, really refine down your messaging. So many coaches that I come across, and it's something that I also teach in the Mindset Coach Academy, try to spread themselves too thin. They try to talk about too many things online. And what I encourage you to do is to just think about 5 key things, 5 messages that you are going to consistently show up and be talking about, that people can rely on you to have an opinion on, those 5 key areas that directly relate to your area of expertise. And you can use a Trello board or something similar to actually write down what they are, identify those 5 umbrella headings that you know that you can contribute to the conversation about, that you're not just going to be another voice in the crowd, but you're going to communicate in a meaningful way and contribute in a meaningful way to the discussion about those things. So think about particularly your area, your niche of coaching. What are the things that clients most talk about? What are the things maybe that people don't know about? What are the things that you know that other people perhaps don't know or are unaware of, that you can communicate and share with them? And you really want to be able to do that in a way that demonstrates that you know what you're talking about, that you get it, that you understand what it's like to A, perhaps be in your client's shoes where they are now, and B, that you know how to get to where they want to be. Perhaps that's where you are at the moment. And when we do this, when we communicate those things in a very distilled way, like, don't dilute yourself, don't dilute your message, don't dilute your power by trying to talk about everything and be everything to everybody. We're going to look at niching in a subsequent program. But for now, I want you to think about your own credibility and how do you demonstrate that? How do you show up online to share your knowledge and your expertise so that people know? I mean, at the moment, of course, we're unable to go to live networking events, but what are all the things that you're doing, right from your free opt-in potentially through your programs, etc., to demonstrate that expertise that you have? Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about in terms of building your credibility is your framework. Now, the thing that builds credibility more than anything else, and the thing is, having that coaching vision that we talked about a couple of shows ago is important. Having your understanding, the skills, the qualifications, the expertise you bring to the table, really important. Knowing what your zone of genius is and being able to communicate that, important, right? What is even more important than that in building your credibility is helping your clients to achieve results. Your clients come to you because they want outcomes, and it's those outcomes that they're going to talk about. We have moved so far beyond talking as coaching, right? Coaching has grown and developed, and people want more than just to sit down with somebody and have their answers reflected back at them and to be asked what do they think they should do in a certain situation. Clients now come to coaches because they come to you because you've got this level of expertise, this credibility in a certain area, in a certain niche, and they want you to help them because they've got a problem in that area. Want to learn more about how you can become a certified mindset coach? Head on over to our website, www.mindsetcoachacademy.com/coach certification, and you'll find all the information that you need, along with a button to book a call with me to talk about how you can become the best coach you can be. Now, when you actually work with your clients, they come to you because they want to get a result. And so, time and time again, I'm dismayed when I hear about people going to coaching and just not getting the results that they desired. It's kind of like, Groundhog Day. They turn up for a coaching session, they're talking over things, perhaps they've been given a task, but it's really not leading anywhere. They're not able to, or they're not having the experience of removing the blocks and barriers that they have to success. Let's face it, we can Google just about anything online. We can Google how to do anything. Knowledge is often not the thing that holds people back from being where they want to be. What holds them back is their mindset. What holds them back is the mindset as we know it, right? That comprehensive suite of beliefs, values, behaviors, habits, patterns, choices, decisions, all operating at the conscious and the unconscious level. And so, as a coach, if you're not really equipped to be able to help people to create transformation at the conscious and unconscious level using the tools like we use at the Mindset Coach Academy, which do both, then you're really not going to be able to help them to move forward. And how do you help your clients to create that transformation? You work within a framework. You have structure. You're not going to just have your clients turn up week in and week out and be thinking, well, what are we going to talk about this week? You need to have a defined framework that reliably and consistently is going to help you get your clients to get the results that they desire. Now, we're not talking about a rigid process here. What we're talking about is you really sitting down as a coach and thinking about that outcome that your clients come to you to achieve. Really define the outcome. Then what I want you to do is to work backwards and think about what are all the things that your client needs to do? What are all the things that they need to believe, that they need to be showing up for in order to get that outcome? And then what you do is you plan your coaching framework accordingly. You are going to use different tools and techniques at different times through the coaching process. And here I'm talking not just about one-to-one coaching, but if you've got a group program or a membership, or you run retreats, it all still applies. Maybe you run a mastermind, it applies to that too. Work out what the outcome is that your clients come to you for. Get really, really clear and familiar with that. Then understand what it is that they need to change and transform in order to get that outcome. And then make sure that you have the tools at your disposal and the techniques that you're really adept at to be able to help them get there. Now, whether that is things like, belief change at the conscious and unconscious level, values alignment, maybe you use some hypnotherapy or some neurolinguistic programming techniques to really help them to understand their patterns, their history, and why they do what they do. And perhaps it's things like EFT, energy practices. There are so many things that you can actually integrate into your framework that will really help your clients to transform, not just at the conscious level, but also at the unconscious level as well, which of course is where we know all change actually occurs. Change always happens at the unconscious level. And when we do that, when we help our clients to adopt new habits, new ways of thinking, new patterns of behavior, when we help them to step into the identity of the person who has what they want and desire, then it just becomes so much easier for them to achieve their goals, no matter what they are in life or in business. And so as a coach, having those tools and having those techniques and having the flexibility as well and the insight to know what to use and when with your clients is incredibly powerful. So if you don't have a framework that you're currently working with, I want you to sit down, think about that outcome, and think about all the things that your clients do or need to do and change in order to be able to get there. Put pen to paper and really write that down and create that framework for yourself. Of course, at the Mindset Coach Academy, as part of our certification programs, we provide you with frameworks, we provide you with tools, and we work with you to craft one that will very specifically work with your specific group of clients and for the specific outcome that they want to achieve. And of course, these are tools and techniques that we don't just use during our coaching sessions. They also apply during any interactions in between and to our tasking. And you really want to be thinking about how all those things go together. We're going to break them down in future episodes of the show, just to give you a taste and insight through case studies of how all of these things work and how they work together. And as I say, we'll be looking at things like your niche and, how to really define and hone that outcome. But for now, I think it's a really good step for you, or a good activity for you to do, just to think about what is the outcome and what are the steps that you know that you can take as a coach with your client to help them to get there. Write it down and make a note of it, and just start to see how that will credibly and consistently lead you to your clients getting those results. Because, of course, when our clients get results, then we get great testimonials from our clients. When our clients get results, then they want to talk about us to other people. And when our clients get results, it attracts more clients to us. So work on the worksheet. It's in the mindsetcoachacademy.com/resources section. Go there, do a bit of the thought work around this, and enjoy the process. Enjoy the process of stepping into your credibility, in owning your credibility and embracing your credibility. Because as a coach, that you can help people, you can help your clients to get to where they want to be. I'll see you next week. Bye for now. That wraps up this week's episode of the Mindset Coach podcast. Remember to join us next week for another episode, and subscribe on your favourite podcast app. Leave us a review if you've loved it, share it with your friends, and I really look forward to learning how you're implementing the tools and techniques that you're learning here. Mindset is everything.